friends, welcome to Quick Learn tutorial series. In this video, I will explain you difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. This is lecture number 3 of microcontroller series. So before I discuss the difference between microprocessor and microcontroller, first we know about what is microprocessor and what is microcontroller. So in this video, first I give a brief introduction of microprocessor and microcontroller. After that, we will discuss the difference between both of them. Now, what is microprocessor? Microprocessor is basically an integrated circuit which has only the CPU. CPU contain control unit, arithmetic and logic unit, that is ALU, and some register. They do not have ROM, RAM, input-output port, timer, counter, other peripheral within the chip. A designer has to add them externally to do the functions. Or we can say that microprocessor have CPU. They will have separate memory, separate block for input-output port, separate block for timer, counter, clock circuit. So everything is separate in microprocessor. Now what is microcontroller? Microcontroller is basically a microprocessor with integrated peripheral. Here we see in the diagram, microcontroller basically consists of a microprocessor. Other peripherals like ROM, RAM, input-output port, timer, counter, clock circuitry, oscillator, everything within the chip to perform a specific task. So we can say that it is a mini computer, or it is also known as system on chip or computer on chip. Basically, microcontroller is designed to perform a specific task or to operate a particular function. So the peripherals are selected according to the application which is performed by the microcontroller. Now the difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. Microprocessor is the heart of computer system, whereas microcontroller is basically the heart of an embedded system, because in microcontroller all the component, all the functional blocks, CPU, RAM, ROM, input output device, timer, counter, all the things are embedded on a single chip and make it a complete system to perform a specific task. So that is why it is called embedded system. And microprocessor only have CPU, central processing unit. So it is a heart of computer system. Next, microprocessor is only a standalone processor, so memory, input output component need to be connected externally. As I have already told, microprocessor basically consists of CPU, central processing unit. So it is the heart of computer system. If a designer want to perform some function and use memory, input output component, they need to be connected externally. In case of microcontroller, microcontroller has a processor alone with integral memory and input output component or other peripherals embedded on a single chip. Next, in microprocessor, memory and input output port has to be connected externally, so the circuit size become larger. In case of microcontroller, memory, input output port, other peripheral, all functional components are already present on the chip. So the physical circuit of microcontroller is small as compared to microprocessor. Next, you cannot use microprocessor in compact system. In case of microcontroller, you can use microcontroller in compact systems. Next, in case of microprocessor, the cost of the entire system is high. In case of microcontroller, the cost of the entire system is low. Next is, in case of microprocessor, due to external component, the total power consumption is high. Therefore, it is not ideal for the device running on storage power like batteries. In case of microcontroller, external components are low, total power consumption is less. So it can use within device running on stored power like batteries. Next difference is, in case of microprocessor, most of the microprocessor do not have power saving features. But most of the microcontroller have power saving features. or power saving mode. Next is microprocessor are mainly used in personal computers, whereas microcontroller are perform a specific function. So it is mainly used in washing machine, MP3 player, embedded system where a particular task is performed. Next is microprocessor has a small number of registers, so more operation are memory based. Microcontroller has more register, hence the program are easier to write. Next is microprocessor are based on von Neumann memory architecture, which is older architecture. In von Neumann architecture, the program and data memory both are combined in a single unit, whereas microcontroller are based on Harvard architecture, which is new type of memory architecture in which program and data memory both are separate and separate buses is used to fetch the instruction or data. So the Harvard architecture is fastest and the latest architecture, and the von Neumann architecture is not effective. Next is microprocessor is basically a central processing unit on a single silicon based integrated chip, whereas microcontroller having microprocessor based system with integrated peripheral. It means it contain microprocessor, other peripherals like RAM, ROM, input output port, timer, counter, all are embedded on a single chip. So it is also called embedded system. Next is microprocessor has no ROM, RAM, input output unit, timer, counter, other peripheral embedded on a chip. All the peripheral microprocessor use separately. But in case of microcontroller use CPU, RAM, ROM, other peripheral required to perform a specific task on a single chip. Next is microprocessor use an external bus to interface RAM, ROM, other peripheral, whereas microprocessor use internal controlling bus to communicate with other peripheral and CPU. Next is the advantage of microprocessor is that it is flexible in structure or flexible in nature, whereas microprocessor based system is perform a specific predefined task. So once a controller is designed, the structure in microcontroller it is fixed. So the structure of microcontroller is not flexible. Next is the program for microprocessor can be changed for different applications. It is a flexible structure. But in case of microcontroller, when it is designed or program is written, the program is common for that application only. Or we can say that microcontroller is basically perform a specific task, a specific function. Just like in our daily life, we use microwave oven. Microwave oven, the function of microwave oven is to cook the food. So microcontroller control the heating of microwave oven. This is the function of microcontroller in microwave oven. Next example is in washing machine. In washing machine, the function of washing machine is to wash the cloth. So in that case, microcontroller perform different function. In case of microwave oven, it perform different function. So in case of microcontroller, we choose peripheral according to the application or according to the task performed by the system. Next is the common peripheral interface for the microprocessor is USB, UART and high speed Ethernet. In case of microcontroller, peripheral interface is I2C, SPI and UART. Next is microprocessor based system can run at very high speed. The speed of microprocessor based system in range of 1 GHz to 4 GHz. Whereas microcontroller based system, the speed is very slow as compared to microprocessor based system. The speed of microcontroller based system is around 1 MHz to 300 MHz, which is very low as compared to microprocessor based system. Next is microprocessor is used for general purpose application that allow you to handle lots of data. In case of microcontroller, microcontroller are used for specific applications. Next is microprocessor basically are complex in structure and expensive with a large number of instructions to process the data, whereas microcontroller is simple and inexpensive with less number of instructions to process. These are the basic difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. Let's we discuss about the application of microprocessor and microcontroller. Microprocessor based system are calculators, accounting system, gaming machine, complex industrial controllers, traffic light, control data, military applications, some defense systems, computation systems, computer, TV, all are based on microprocessor. Next is application of microcontroller. Microcontroller is used to perform a specific task, to perform a specific application. So it is used for mobile phones, automobiles, DVD player, CD player, washing machine, cameras, security alarm, keyboard controlling, microwave oven, watch, MP3 player. All these are the application of microcontroller. So these are the difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. In my next video, I will explain you the architecture, the block diagram of 8051 microcontroller. So stay continue and keep watching my video.